Hello, caring viewers, and welcome to Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living. Today, we feature part 2 of a 2-part series on the South Central Farm, an organic community farm and garden in California, USA. The South Central Farm was first established in 1994 in a dense urban area in South Central Los Angeles. Located at 41st and Alameda Street, this 14-acre land had been cultivated by local residents for years. Surrounded by warehouses and industry, this lush oasis hosted a diversity of plants, including fruit trees, vegetables, herbs, flowers, and even exotic flora. The South Central farmers use sustainable farming methods, which do not involve any use of chemicals. Their products, fresh and organic, are abundant enough to feed the farmers, their family, and the community. The farm garnered the support of celebrities such as Daryl Hannah, Julie Hill Butterfly, Joan Baez, Danny Glover, Ralph Nader, and Martin Sheen. South Central Farm also became the topic of the Oscar-nominated documentary titled The Garden, directed by filmmaker Scott Hamilton Kennedy. In 2006, South Central Farm was relocated to an 80-acre farm in Bakersfield, 120 miles north from Los Angeles. Teza Zomak, a representative from the South Central Farm, will now take us on a tour of the thriving organic farm in Bakersfield.
This is our papalo plant. This is named in the Mexican language for butterfly. And so if you were to imagine a field full of this rustling, it would look like a giant wave of butterflies. This has a taste similar to watercress. It's very spicy. You can eat it just raw. This is actually red Russian kale. These greens are what we grow in the wintertime. We grow about 4 varieties of kale, and they all do really well, fantastic for us. Here we have basically our regular string beans that you get in the market. So we have a whole row of the green ones, and these are our purple ones, and they're really beautiful. This is called amaranth. It's rich in iron. You eat it green, you eat it just like spinach. You saute it with other vegetables. It's really great. Down here, we have basil. This is broadleaf Italian basil. This also is one of our other plants that we used to grow in LA. This is called chipilín. It's a very unique flavor that people make tamales with the leaves. This is also a medicinal plant that people have been using for thousands of years as a way to, fortify their organism.
South Central Farm thrives on a multi-crop system. Teza Zomak emphasizes the reason why it is significant for other farmers to adopt this method for their own survival as well as nature's.
We have multiple crops. If one doesn't do well, we have 19 other ones that we can count on. A lot of farmers are monocrop cultures. Farmers, that's a very dangerous situation because you can lose everything. Bees can't survive on just the flowering of one crop. And so a lot of bees are dying from several things, from weakening due to lack of food. We always have different crops and they're always blossoming. And for us, the bees help to pollinate all the plants and we get more production because there's more pollination going on, more than just the air. So it has to be very interconnected because things have to reach, a reciprocity of existence. Everybody has to give for the other to exist and back and forth.
The South Central farmers hold an integrated management approach to the garden, respecting all living things and the land itself. They also try to raise awareness about the harmful effects of chemicals and pesticides on agricultural crops.
There's a lot of weeds here, and it's okay, you know, we don't have to have it looking beautiful, but everybody has to have a chance to kind of survive. For us, I mean, I think that education has been a very integral part of everything that we do. We feel that, you know, merely the fact that we grow organic produce is not enough, that we have to educate our community on the importance of why you should make choice A versus choice B, and how each one of these choices impacts you in a different way, and not just an instantaneous impact. We're talking about prolonged exposure. I mean, it is a very well-known fact that, you know, a lot of the agro industry grows with glyphosate, which is, we know it as Roundup, and Roundup has impacted, particularly if you look at the studies coming out of England, where they impacted people's communities, where it affects the morphology of young men and women, and particularly women, early onset of puberty, reduced fertility. In the case of men, reduced testosterone. The way that they found these out is that they would go into the ponds, and all the frogs were turned into female frogs, and all the lobsters in the sea ocean were females, and they were wondering, why is this happening? Well, when glyphosate breaks down, it produces xenoestrogens, which are, you know, feminizing hormones, and so, you know, the animals in the environment respond to that exposure.
Vegetarianism, the noble way of living, will return after these brief messages to continue with our tour of the South Central Farm. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.
People can volunteer at the farmers market so that they can understand the food issues in our communities. They can also, you know, engage with community members on their concerns around food issues. And at the farm, we also always have volunteers coming up to see the work that we're doing, be trained in organic production and how to care for the land and for the products.
Welcome back to Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living on Supreme Master Television. South Central Farm adheres to sustainable organic growing methods and provides the community with fresh and nutritious crops. Let's meet and hear from some of the volunteers at South Central Farm in Bakersfield, California.
Buenos días, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Miguel Tomás.
¿Y qué está haciendo aquí hoy día?
Piscando de calabazas para South Central Farmers Market. Y todo por la gente que queremos llevar productos saludables, todo para la gente que quiere comer orgánica. Y es lo que estamos haciendo, tratando de hacer con la comunidad.
My name is Carrie. I came out today to volunteer. My first exposure to South Central Farm was through the film, The Garden, the documentary made about the whole thing.
Mi nombre es Liberio Clatoa. Ahora tenemos producto con sandía, con calabaza, tenemos la zucchini, la redonda, tenemos calabaza amarilla, tenemos 5 clases de calabazas ahorita. Tenemos calabaza también de Halloween, de Castilla, kale, acelga, diferentes productos, ¿no?
Hi, what's your name?
Ramon Galvan. I first came out here with a local student organization. It's called MECHA. And I seen the documentary. We viewed it at one of our meetings, and we came out here one weekend, and I've just been coming back ever since. And my parents, I bring them out here sometimes, and they love it. We work, we volunteer, so I come out here, I help these guys, I take a box home, and there it is. It's a mutual benefit for us and the workers out here. It's a good relationship that we have here with the community and with the growers and the land. So that's what I like about it. That's what I love about this place.
Touched by South Central Farm's organic vegetable farming efforts for the betterment of the community, its residents' health, and the environment, Supreme Master Ching Hai made a contribution of $10,000 to the organization in support of its noble works.
We're very grateful to Supreme Master Ching Hai. This is a very generous donation. We will make very wise use of it.
Muchísimas gracias, Supreme Master Ching Hai, por su generosidad hacia nosotros, y nosotros la valoramos en 1,000,000. Que empezaba a llegar a acompañarnos simplemente, me daba la fuerza para seguir adelante. Y hoy me siento más fuerte, que no estamos solos, que hay gente que tiene conciencia en mejorar los productos para tener mejor alimentación y conservar nuestra tierra. Gracias.
I want to thank the Supreme Master Ching Hai. I'm very proud to be recognized. It means very much to us, and I want to thank her and her wisdom and her generosity. We continue to advocate for our fellow human beings and everything on the planet so that we can have better lives.
South Central Farm has truly established itself as a shining example of biodiversity and sustainability. To conclude today's show, Tezozomoc shares with us his ideal for a green future and healthy community.
And I think that people having access to open green space is humongously healing. Cities functions as mechanisms to alienate human bodies. Community gardens are the antidote. They are processes that reconnect you to the real, to real land, to real dirt, to real water, real bugs, real products. And I think that that is a very transformative experience. It's a non-transcendental experience. It's on the contrary, it's a very grounding experience. So for me, I think a vision for the future would be where for every 20 houses you have an acre of land that's allocated for everybody to work the land, to grow your own food, or just to have a space where you can be on the outside. And I think that it improves people's quality of lives immensely. I think that reduces crime, it reduces alienation, youth alienation, it reduces family transgenerational disconnections. I think that when we have healthy human beings, we have healthy communities, and we will have a healthy planet.
We thank Tezozomoc, Josefina, all the farmers and volunteers of South Central Farm for their dedicated efforts in promoting organic vegan agriculture. May more community gardens sprout in all urban areas to provide a verdant paradise for local residents. Loving viewers, it was a pleasure to have you join us for today's Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living. Coming up next is Between Master and Disciples, here on Supreme Master Television. May you be blessed with health, happiness, and inner peace. To discover more about the South Central Farm and its great produce, please visit www.southcentralfarmers.com.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/veg.